and I won't waste it.
Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Growing the Dream. I hope you're keeping well and having a brilliant day. Right then, so cracking on and getting busy with the work. Now a couple of episodes ago I seem to have a vague memory of me saying, oh, I've still got this wheat to plant and I've got, the crop plan to keep in mind, but I'm in no rush for this, that and the other. And for some reason, I don't know why I said that, because I've jumped into the game today to start recording this episode and we're still in September. We're on the 4th of September and I'm playing 5-day months at the minute. It's only just gone 11:30 in the morning, so we've got a day and a half left of work to do, so I'm not going to waste that. And because we're in September, we are still in the planting window of being able to plant our wheat and our canola. So that's what I need to get done. The two fields that we're going to be working in initially are fields 10 and field 38. We're going to be planting in field 10, we're going to be planting wheat, and in field 38, the bigger of the two fields, where we're heading right now, we're going to be planting canola. But it's not called canola anymore, and that's thanks to a wonderful mod. The mod I'm talking about now is British Fill Units by BigMacJ. Now this mod has been out for a little while now, a good few weeks, and I have been aware of it, I've known of it, I've had it in my mod folder. I tried running it on this save a good few episodes ago, but I think it was, I can't say exactly why, and I'm certainly not going to be putting any blame on British Fill Units here, because of where we are now with the game, with so many, I'm talking specifically about this particular save, because I've got so many game-changing mods running on here. I'm not going to put the blame on any particular mod, it's just a case of possibly two mods not playing well with each other. But essentially, when I had British Fill Units running, when it was in an earlier version, a beta version of the mod, I had some severe lag when I was going into the menus. But that's all gone now. But British Fill Units is brilliant, and it's brought to the game an aspect that I've been longing for some considerable time, and that is the doing away with measuring everything in litres for a start. It's just something that has always irked me a bit, because there's so many products that we deal with in the game that you don't measure in litres, they come in weights. Litres is for measuring fluids, isn't it, really? Not seeds and pallets and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, British Fill Units, it's absolutely brilliant. It's by a modder called BigMacJ. I will post the link to his GitHub page in the video description below. If you are playing on a UK map or enjoying any kind of UK play, I highly recommend that you go download this mod. If you're on PC, of course. We can jump into the menus very quickly. We can go into the best mod for me to kind of showcase it to you is using Mark Haythornthwaite's time-saving stock check. So let's jump very quickly into the menu here. But as you can see, there are still certain products that are measured in litres. Obviously diesel, you've got herbicide, of course, and all that kind of stuff. But as you can see, we've no longer got a quantity in litres of barley, for example. We've got 19.8 tonnes of the stuff. Grass, hay, linseed, muck. Again, it's changed the names of a couple of products. For example, like I mentioned before, canola. I know it is known as canola in other parts of the world, but over here in the United Kingdom, it's called oilseed rape, or OSR, as it is now called in the game. But manure is now muck, because that is the terminology that is most often used in the United Kingdom. We've got just under 4.5 tonnes of the stuff. But yeah, kilograms, tonnes, meters of round bale net, not litres, and it's just mega. It just adds that little bit of detail that, as a UK person, player, whatever, but especially playing on a UK map, it's just absolutely perfect. It really is. So a massive shout out to BigMacJ. Like I said, the link will be in the video description below to his website, to GitHub, sorry, where you can download the latest version of it. And as far as I'm concerned, at the minute, all seems to be running hunky-dory. So yeah, highly recommend going downloading this mod. There we go, you see 82 kilograms of wool, not litres. It's just brilliant. It is absolutely incredible. I've said this many times before, haven't I, folks? But yeah, where we are with the game now, the level of ingenuity that modders are bringing to the game is just, quite frankly, it's astounding. They've changed it so much for the good. They really have. Another, I did want to also just mention very quickly, if none of you are on my Discord, jump on there, because if you're looking for some really, really cool mods, I've got to give a massive shout out to my good friend and long-time supporter and friend of the channel, Dutch Modelling, who keeps, there's a section on my Discord that is constantly updated with the latest and greatest mods. Now, we have strict rules over on my Discord. There are no links at all allowed to any of the scraper sites. You know, I don't really want to mention them by name, but there's a lot of them out there. And I'm not going to go into the politics of all these scraper sites, but the bottom line is all the links on my Discord are genuine links to the Modder's own websites, to ModHub, to GitHub, itch.io. Maybe there's a couple of Facebook links, I can't remember, I'm not too sure, to groups and such on there. But yeah, all the mods on there are fully trustworthy. The sources are legitimate and perfect. So yeah, and there's a great group and collection of regularly updated mods on there. And again, Dutch Modelling, massive shout out to you, mate. You do seem to keep on top of that so very well, and keeping mods updated and all that kind of stuff. Quite frankly, I don't know how you do it, mate. I really don't. But yeah, I'm hugely grateful to you, and I know there's a lot of folks in the Discord who are incredibly grateful for you, for the time that you spend posting those links and keeping us updated on all the mods. They're absolutely brilliant. There's been a couple posted on there in the last couple of days that I've never heard of, and they're absolutely incredible. They really are. There's a new version of a completely different version of an auto drive. I think if I remember correctly, it's called Ultra Drive or something like that. I haven't had the opportunity to download it and test it out yet. It was only yesterday when I saw it, but it proper intrigued me. So like I said, if any of you are PC players and you are keen to keep on top of the latest and greatest mods, I thoroughly recommend that you go over and check out my FS25 mod section over on the Discord. It's a great library of legitimate sources and links where you can get your mods from. So yeah, you're all welcome over there. The more the merrier. Come and say hello. It's a very helpful, friendly, and at times quite daft place to be. But yeah, it's I do love my Discord. The folks who keep that thing going are just legends. You all really are. But yeah, so anyway, so that's that out of the way. British fill units, links in the video description, and also go check out my Discord, links in the description for that as well. So we're cracking on, like I said, with a bit of work. We've got two fields that we can sort out today. We have what we're in now, field 38. We're going to be planting OSR in here. Hope possibly today. I'm not too sure where the episode's going to take me yet, but we need to get these two fields cultivated. There's no point wasting the time that I've got ahead of me. We did finish working in the big grass field that we've been creating in the last couple of episodes. I did spend a little bit of time off camera just fiddling around with the lime levels of the central part of that field. Of course, those of you who've been following the series know that I've made one field out of 3, and the central field, as it were, was still a little bit low on its pH levels according to the soil and fertiliser mod. So I ran another spray, another cover of lime, and it still didn't bring that central level up to the optimal level of 6. I think it's 6.6 if I remember correctly, or 6.5. It only brought it up to like 6.2 or 6.3, so it's not quite brought it to the perfect level. But either way, it is what it is. I've just kind of thrown the towel in with that one, as it were. The yields look good. The grass is in the ground. I'm just going to leave it to its own devices now and get cracking. But yeah, we can't do anything with the second grass field that I'm going to be creating because we need to wait till next month to get the mint out of the ground before I can run this cultivator, select the create fields option, and turn that into one big field again to get the grass drilled. So yeah, we'll get the OSR drilled in this field hopefully today if there's time, and possibly the wheat also in field 10 towards the north of the map. Slightly smaller than this one. Collectively we've got just over 30 acres to cultivate this morning into this afternoon. It's almost this afternoon now anyway, isn't it? So yeah, plenty to do. Let's get cracking. I have spent I bought a couple of bags of seed because I do have NX Modding's incredible farm kit mod running on this game save. That also has a field calculator aspect to it, so I can just very quickly jump into that and I can see how much seed that each field tells me it's going to take for each individual crop. So that was a very simple to use part of the mod to consult and just find out how much seed I'm going to need across both the fields. So I'm relatively confident I've got enough seed now on the farm. And of course, once the seed's in the ground, then we can have a look at soil and fertiliser, and that'll tell us what treatments we need to give both of the fields to bring them up to optimum levels. So yeah, well, that's all in the near future. So for now, I shall shut up, throw some tunes on, and get cultivating this land, eh? So I'll see you in a while. Right, here we are, about halfway through now, and the John Deere 6R here is soldiering on pretty well. Now, in the last episode, we did pop this John Deere into a spot of maintenance, didn't we? Needed it, and a bit of time has passed. When I jumped into the game save this morning, I got a little bit of an alert a couple of seconds later just to say that the maintenance has finished on this thing. So it's running at its best and optimal standard, I suppose, doing really, really well. But I have made a concerted effort to make sure, because obviously with advanced damage system you have to be mindful, especially on a map like this when you've got fields as big as this, or any of the fields anyway, that are on inclines, on hills. So I made sure that I programmed the courseplay course to run across the field as I am doing here, instead of up and down. Of course we can't avoid the headlands. I've got 3 headlands programmed in here, so it's only on that edge of the field there that we're facing at the minute where the tractor's actually going to be running uphill, but it copes with it quite well. This cultivator requires 240 horsepower, I think, and this John Deere has 300, so we're well above the required power limits, I suppose, or requirements for this cultivator. So it does all right. It doesn't struggle. We don't get any bings or bongs from advanced damage system to say that the tractor's struggling, so it's all good. So we've not got long left on this one. When we've got this field finished, I will just very quickly scurry over to the other side of the map and get field 10 cultivated as well off camera. But before I do that, I just wanted to touch base on a couple of things. One of them being that if those of you who are following along with my new series over in the US, my Delaplane Arkansas Delta South Grain and Harvest, if you are following that series so far, I just released episode 2 yesterday, which seems to have gone down quite well. Really happy and enjoying the fact that so many of you seem to be enjoying where that series is going. We have had numerous requests, as we always do when it comes to a save game, especially one with a Chimera build. We've had so many requests for a public release of that build. Now, I did mention in last night's episode that because the build is using all publicly available mods, that build will be released on my Discord in the near future. But all I'm asking at the minute is that we can just ask for a little bit of your patience. Kim is currently away on vacation, enjoying some well-earned rest and recuperation time, having a bit of a chill, but she does want to do a little bit of fine tweaking and amendments to that build and that save file. So, and as she's away on vacation at the minute, obviously she, and for one, I'm certainly not expecting her to be able to do anything at all with it. So if we can just ask for a little bit of patience, we are going to be releasing it on the Discord. Potentially there might be a couple of different variants of it with a couple of different uses for it, essentially, because at the minute on that one I don't have any animals, so I think Kim is possibly thinking about doing adding some animals into one of them, because you know, we all have different play styles and such, and I think it's a very generous and kind and thoughtful thing for her to consider doing, just to consider the different play styles of all us players. So yeah, but the main point of this is just to ask for a little bit of your patience. It will be released on there in the coming weeks. I can't say when. I know that she's away at the minute for a good few weeks at the on vacation. So if you are interested in getting a copy of that Delta South Grain and Harvest Farm build, because it is a wonderful build, it really is. In the video description for episode 1 of that series, I have listed all of the mods that I'm running, and also almost all of the mods that I used for the build itself as well. So in preparation, if you did want to get your hands on a copy of the save game, jump over to episode 1. You'll see all the links in the video description there. Get them all downloaded. Jump on the Discord if you're not already, and in the fullness of time you will be the first to know when a copy of that save, or a couple of copies of that save, have been released. So yeah, I just wanted to let you all know that. So yeah, there we go. Right, well, I'm going to crack on with this. I've got a little bit of time ahead of me to get this done, and like I say, I'll get field 10 done as well off camera, and when we're done with that, we will hook up the seeder and get some crops drilled in. I think we'll start back again in this field as well, get the big one done first. But one job I don't need to have to do, which is I'm really quite grateful for, is I don't need to run any lime in this field. If I just jump very quickly, well, that was a spot of lag, wasn't it? If I jump very quickly into my soil and fertilizer menus, as you can see, in both fields, 38 where we are here, we are already at an optimal level of lime. I've not done any work or any spraying of any lime in this field. So yeah, it's all good here, so we don't have to worry about liming this one. And also over here in field 10, we're at a pH level of 6.9 as well. So yes, forgive me onwards from what I was saying before, 6.9 seems to be an optimal level, which is great. This is what I was talking about before. So the big grass field, field 15, is great at 6.6. 6.4 still at slightly acidic, and this was running another layer of liquid lime, over this particular field that I did off camera. And of course, as we know, field 19 is actually over limed, and it just says allowed to normalize. You can you have because of soil and fertilizer, what it brings to the game, it does bring a product called gypsum into the game, which you can use to neutralize the lime levels if you have over limed, but I haven't done that in this one yet. I think for now I've spent quite a bit of time focusing on this grass field here, so we'll just leave that to its own devices. Once we get the mint out the field here in field 6 next month, and we bring this together to make one large grass field as well, I think that's when if I do need to do anything when it comes to lime or over liming or neutralizing the lime, then we can do that. But at the minute we've got a 6.2 level of slightly acidic, so we need lime in that one, we need lime in that one, and this one is optimal, so we might not need to do much in that one when it comes to lime. Just throw a bit on these two here, but for now that's where we are. So yeah, like I say, we'll crack on with this, get this finished, get the cultivating done, and I'll pick you up in a bit when we'll be going to pick up the seeder and get some OSR drilled in this field. Right, back at the farm now. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to drop the cultivator in this shed here out the way so I can give it a wash, because it's a little bit mucky. It's a shame that Advanced Damage System doesn't really do much when it comes to implements, does it? It just focuses mainly on the on our machinery, but when it comes to wear and tear and degradation and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a shame it doesn't focus on implements as well. But it is what it is. I'm not certainly not complaining, but yeah, there we go. I'll sort that out a little bit later on. For now, I want to get the seeder attached, get back out to field 38 and throw a bit of OSR in the field. And get it drilled. Now, let's have a look here. Try and do this as careful as I can so I don't bump into the door. On our screen right there. Left, sorry, my right screen. My right screen left, goodness me. It's warm again today, ladies and gentlemen, what can I say? Quite difficult to not make any mistakes when your brain's as hot as it is here. It's quite something today. Ooh, look at that. Almost perfect. There we go. But another great thing, though, about British fill units is when we jump into the cab here, we can see we've got OSR. It even goes as far as changing the labels that we have for what we've got contained behind us in the seeder. Yeah, so 1.4 tons, which is great. It's just a cracking bit of detail, it really is, especially on a UK map. I'm pretty sure there was an American version done by Thundar back in FARMERSIM 22. If I remember correctly, I don't think there's been... I might be wrong, forgive me if I am, but if Thundar has brought that mod back to 25, I'm not too sure, but either way, it was a great mod, it really is. And sticking with the topic of mods, I know I am fully aware that the last couple of episodes I have prattled on quite a lot about, specifically about soil and fertiliser, and quite a lot about advanced damage system as well. And I don't mean to make the episodes boring in any way just by focusing on one or two particular mods, but I'm sure you can understand with those two mods in particular being so far-reaching and so game-changing, and you do have to focus on so much detail quite regularly, you know, what those mods bring to the game. I am mindful of the fact that I have spoken about them quite a lot, so yeah, I'll do my best not to focus quite so much on the details of soil and fertiliser as often as I have been doing, but yeah, I just wanted to bring it up. I am aware of it, what can I say? But anyway, yeah, so out to the fields. In between episodes, I did say before that I'd done a little bit of work. I've done a little bit of liming here and there just to top up that grass field. I did also top up the water levels on the sheep and the Herefords out in the pasture. The dairy barn, the dairy cows don't have a water level, they just get it automatically, and I think I pay for it every now and again. Well, that reminds me, actually, could do with going and checking out at some point soon if there's anything worth looking at over in the used vehicle sales there, but we're alright for kit at the minute. One of the other mods, actually, that it came to my mind the other day when I was recording the Delta South Grain and Harvest, but I'm running the punctured tyres mod on this save, and it's a great mod. The idea of it is brilliant. I must admit it is a little bit, can be a little bit savage sometimes. There's no real pattern to it in my mind. I think it makes sense that you'd get punctures after the vehicle you're in has done a little bit, at least a few hours work, at least to wear some of the tyre down a little bit to give yourself the opportunity, it's the wrong word, isn't it, but the chance to get a puncture. It seems a little bit, dare I say, unrealistic that you'd get a puncture in a brand new tyre. Tractor tyres are colossal things, and they're extremely thick, and I think they're pretty hardy, and you're not likely to get punctures in them unless you drive over something, well, huge and spiky. What can I say? But yeah, I think personally, I think it does need a tiny little bit of tweaking, and I say it because when I was off camera recording one of the episodes of Delta South, I got a puncture in a quad track. And it just made me go, hang on a minute, this isn't right. A quad track's got tracks, it doesn't have tyres. You should not get punctures in one of these. But yeah, it cost me a pretty penny. I think it was about 1,700 quid as well, or dollars, sorry. So yeah, that was a bit daft, but it is what it is. Like I say, I'm not complaining or anything like that. I'm just, just saying what it is, what my experiences of it are. It's a great mod, it really is. I love the idea of getting a puncture randomly. You don't... punctures don't happen at the best. They come out of the blue, don't they? They really do. But yeah, as I say, getting a puncture in a quad track was a little bit too much for me. I was like, hang on a minute. But anyway, right, so here we are back in field 38 now. We'll get the OSR drilled here. I need to set up a play course and do all that, so I'll faff around with this now and we'll get it done. I'll see you when the seed's in the ground. Right then, here we are on the last stretch of headland, and this is where it really does start to struggle. As you can see, we're hovering around the 100% load mark as this tractor tries to drag this 9.7 ton seeder up this part of the hill. So yeah, it does really struggle. Down to like 4 miles an hour at the minute on the flats. It's been running quite a decent 11-12 miles an hour throughout most of this job, and that's why I felt it's really important to try and get it to essentially do this as little as possible, hence why we run the up and down rows across the field here. I've done 3 headlands, so I've only had to run this section of the field essentially 3 times, but yeah, it does put a bit of oomph and a bit of wear into the tractor. Advanced damage system does have an age-related wear. Oh, there was just a bing then, and I've got an exclamation mark popping up on my heads-up display there. Goodness me, I think it's just telling me. Thankfully, we're right at the top of the incline there, but curious what that's referring to. It didn't bring up any messages or any heads-up displays there, did it? But yeah, here we are, almost at the end now. Let's see if that goes away. I hope it doesn't. We've just spent a fair bit of money putting this thing through its maintenance. Goodness me. Oh yeah, there we go. Right, warning over. I knew it would do something like that, though. At the end of the day, it's asking quite a lot of it. Let's be honest. But I'll tell you what, though, speaking of wear, look at the state of my tractor. Look at the bonnet there. It looks like it's been through a rock crusher, for goodness sake. Like I said before, Advanced Damage System does have an age-related wear option, but you can only toggle it on or off. There we go, let's just turn that off there and jump out. Yeah, you can only toggle it on or off. It doesn't have like a finite adjustment to it, so there's not much you can do with it. You've either just got to turn it on or off. But look at the state of my tractor. It's only done 36 and a bit hours, I think. To me, that's a bit excessive. That really is. Looks like it's had a fight with the Wolverine, doesn't it? There's just scratches and paint missing all over the show. I'd love to be able to afford to give it a paint job, but after 36 hours, I really don't think giving it a paint job should be anything I'd have to be considering. It's, yeah, it looks a fair bit battered, this thing. Yes, I can clean it up. I did actually give it a wash before this episode, and it looked all nice and shiny earlier on, but goodness me, yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. So, there we go. The OSR is in the ground, and it's such an economical crop that we've used about 800 litres, just over, in this field. And obviously this is one of our larger fields, so yeah, a very economical crop. But of course, the work doesn't stop there. We do need to run the roller in this field now to get to claw onto our little percentage of yield, and we have also got to sort the weeds out in the future. But now, if we jump into our soil and fertilizer mod, there we go. Let's have a quick look and see exactly what this field is going to need. So we'll start at the top with the nitrogen. So right, yeah, it's going to need a topping up of nitrogen. 66 parts per million, 63 parts per million, 69 there. So yeah, we need to give it a good going over with that. Phosphorus, 8 parts per million here. Looks like it's 8 parts per million across the whole field. And potassium, 16 parts per million, 16 there, 12 there. Yeah, so that leaves a good going over with the potassium as well. Of course, pH levels are absolutely fine, and the organic matter is pretty good as well. And no doubt in the near future, in the distant future, sorry, next year when we get to harvest, we'll be able to top up the organic matter using the straw that we get out the back of the harvester. I suppose it would have been easy just to jump into the treatment plan and have a look. Oh, that's interesting. Potassium. In the treatment plan, it tells us that field 38 is okay. Phosphorus and nitrogen, of course, we need to work on. But in here, potassium, we're 12 parts per million shy of what it needs. So it's interesting that the treatment plan says one thing, and the map PDA says another. Right, okay. Well, I think I should really be focusing on what the map PDA tells me to the specific tiles on the field, don't you think? So yeah, I think we'll be running a plethora of work from the products that Soil and Fertilizer brings to the game. We'll no doubt be getting down to that in the next episode. But a quick update on where we are with the animals as well. I'm really, really hoping, fingers crossed, touch wood, that the timing is going to work out. When it comes to the grass, we've sown the grass in the last episode. We've got a couple of months before that's going to be ready to cut. It's going to be December when we get first cut from that grass. Now, at the minute on the farm, our 15 silage bales that we got off the grass last time. That is 24.8 tons. That's going to take a bit of getting used to. Again, this transition from using the normal base game fill units, litres pretty much, to what British fill units now brings to the game. I can tell you that I've got 24.8 tons of fermenting grass. It's currently 73% fermented, so hopefully not too much longer now. We do have one extra bale of silage that I did buy a couple of episodes ago, but we've not got a huge amount of hay. We've only got 7 bales of hay, 45,500 litres, 3.3 tons of. But that hay, I can give that to the Herefords and they will get 100% productivity from the hay. And I do need to give the hay to the sheep as well. But I've not got very much of it, so there's a strong chance that we may run out of hay. We've got plenty of straw. I'm hoping that when the silage is fermented, when the grass is fermented into silage, then we should have enough silage. But I think it's going to be hay that we're going to be a little bit shy on, possibly. We've got a couple of months to get through yet, so including the rest of September, that's essentially 11 days before we hit 11 in-game days before we hit December. Excuse me. So, yeah, I think we may well run shy of hay, so we may have to buy some of that in. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, like I say. What a beautiful map this is, just standing up here on the hill, being able to look down at everything. It is an incredible map. It really is such a beautiful thing. I love playing on here, I really do. So, yeah, I think for this episode, though, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to call it here. Like I say, we'll crack on in the next episode getting the wheat drilled in field 10, and then we need to get back in here and no doubt field 10 as well with the field roller, get them rolled over, and then concentrate on sorting them out with their nutrients from soil and fertilizer, and then we can move on again, no doubt, into next month when we can jump in and get harvesting the mint. But until then, for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed this episode and found it a little bit fun and a little bit interesting. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like as well if you can too. It does do wonders, helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And if you like the idea of supporting the channel also, there are a number of ways you can do that. There is my Giants Partner promo code, if any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons or DLCs. There's coffee.com if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And there is also my G-Portal affiliate link if any of you are in the market for an online server to play with your mates. Any help and support there also, ladies and gentlemen, is always massively appreciated. So, thanks again for your time, folks. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.